started in today's triple threat. Arms coming up and down into our shoulder stretch. Getting that full range of motion all the way up and down. And then we will go ahead and start swinging it left to right. Getting that little step in. Maybe you get that little neck roll in. Stretching out whatever might feel a little bit tighter than usual as we warm up our body. We will go ahead and bring our feet outside of our hips and bend it straight over, touching our toes or the floor, keeping those legs nice and straight. Pull in the back of your legs. We're gonna bend those legs, squat it down nice and deep, hands up, push the knees out with those elbows, really opening up your hips. And we'll go ahead and raise our arms up, stand it back up to repeat, bending it over, touching our toes or the floor if you can. And then go ahead and bring it down nice and low, hands up, push the knees out. And then we're gonna go ahead and bring our arms overhead, stand it back up. We're gonna repeat this one more time, bend it over, touch your toes. Bring it down to that nice deep squat with our hands up. Go ahead, bring that right arm and just twist it to the sky. Little spinal twist. Bring it back down and then bring that left arm straight up. And then go ahead, stand it back up. We're gonna place our hands on the ground, step it back and bring those hips down into that up dog position. Raise the hips up into that plank. Step that right foot forward, pulse it in this hip flexor. And then go ahead, step the left foot forward. Bring it back to that high plank, drop the hips down. Raise it on up, right foot forward. And then the left. One more, we're bringing it back, hips down. Raise it on up, right foot. And then the left. Last time. We're gonna step it back and bring those feet in. Stand it on up. That is our warm up. So we will go ahead and get started. As always, starting with our strength circuit. We have 3 exercises we are going to do an inchworm. So hands down, walking it out to that high plank, down into that push up, and then bring it back in. Normally we stand up, but this is where I want you to stop. So your hands should always be on the ground, and then you're walking it back out, coming down to that push up, back in, and then back out. Second exercise, we will be standing, taking that right foot, coming down into a lateral lunge. So leg is bent, you're pushing that butt back, knee is staying behind that toe, other leg nice and straight, stepping it back so that the feet are shoulder width, down into a squat, jump it up, and then lateral lunge down into that other side. So alternating those lateral lunges and always having that jump squat in the middle. And then our third and final exercise, we're coming down into that reverse tabletop position. Arms extended, you're gonna bend it down to that tricep dip. Raise the hips up into that hip thrust. Walk the heels out, toes off the ground into that hip thrust walkout. Lower your bottom back down and then repeat dip to that hip thrust walk out, making sure you're keeping those hips nice and level as you walk the heels out. But we will get started with the inchworm. So bring yourself to the edge of your workspace. Remember, we are never completely standing up. So as soon as you put your hands down, you're gonna keep your hands on the ground the entire time. We have 3 rounds. First round is 35 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest. We are gonna go ahead and get it started in 3, 2, 1, hands down, walk it out, high plank, come down into that push-up, leading with your chest, not your forehead, then walk it back in. Again, never picking those hands up off the ground. 15 more seconds. Five more. Try to fit one last rep in if you can. And rest. Stand it on up. Bring it to the center of your workspace. We have our lateral lunge, squat, jump, other side into that lateral lunge. In 3, 2, 1, step it out. Bring it back, shoulder width. Jump it up into that squat. And then back out into that lateral lunge. Make sure as you come into that lateral lunge, that butt is being pushed back, knee is staying behind the toe. Single digits, only 7 seconds left. Go ahead and rest, bring it to the floor. We have tricep dip to those hip thrust walkout. So legs bent, hands behind you, keep those arms extended. We're gonna raise our butt off the ground in 3, 2, 1, dip it down, raise those hips up, then walk the heels out, bring it back in, and then repeat. Only walk those feet as far as you can while keeping those hips nice and level. 10 more seconds, and then we repeat all of these exercises again. 2, 1, go ahead and rest. Stand it on up. We have our inchworm out to our push-up. This time we're adding 10 seconds to the work time in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands down. Walk it out. Come into a push-up. Walk the hands back in, but do not stand up. Keep those hands on the ground. We're keeping our rest time the same for the entire class. 15 seconds of rest, but we just added 5 seconds to the work time. Five more seconds. 2, 1, stand it on up. Come to the middle of your workspace. We have lateral lunge, squat, jump it up, land in that squat, lateral lunge on that other side. In 3, 2, 1, step it to that side, bring it down. Bring those feet hip width apart into that jump squat and back out to that lateral lunge. Making sure those knees are never caving in. If you need to, you can take that jumping out and just come up onto the toes and then back down. Low impact version. 10 more seconds. 2, and bring it to the floor. We have our tricep dip to our hip thrust walkout. Hands behind us, arms extended, feet flat, legs bent. In 3, 2, 1. Butts off the ground, dip it down. Thrust those hips up. Walk the heels out. You only have one more round after this. Keep those hips nice and level. Squeeze the glutes at the top of that thrust. 5 seconds. Let's rest and let's stand it back up. Edge of our space, inchworm to push up. Final round. An extra 5 seconds to the work time. In 3, 2, 1. Hands are down. We're rocking it out. Come into that push up. 45 seconds of work this time. Remember, do not stand all the way up. Keep those hands on the ground. Final set for these push-ups. Make sure you keep those fingers nice and separated. As you come into that push-up, gives you a better grip onto the floor. 5 more seconds. 2, 1, stand it on up. Our final set of these lateral lunges. 45 seconds of work. We're gonna step it to the side in 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down in the middle, shoulder width apart, jump it up, or low impact, just extend up onto those toes. More than halfway there. Keep it up. Push that butt back in both the lateral lunge and in the squat. Only 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Bring it to the floor. Tricep dip to that hip thrust walkout. We are in reverse tabletop position. Butts off the ground. 3, 2, 1. Dip it down. Thrust the hips up. Walk those heels out. Toes off the floor. Try and keep those hips up as best you can as you walk it out. Really squeeze the glutes. Just 10 more seconds, and then we get 60 seconds to catch our breath. You guys got this. One more rep, one more, and go ahead and rest. Whew. Grab some water, towel off. I'm gonna get into our cardio movement. We are again gonna start at the edge of our workspace. We have a broad jump, jumping far, landing feet flat in that squat, coming on up, high knees back, and then you're jumping it forward, high knees back. If you need to, low impact, you're just gonna duck, walk it forward, and then quickly march it back. Second exercise, we haven't done this one in a while, but we're gonna do lateral shoot through. So in that bear position, knees off the ground, you're picking up that right hand, shooting the left through, and then switching sides, making sure that supporting leg always stays bent. And then that leg that's extending, you're trying to keep it as low to the ground as you can. And then you're starting back into that bear. Whew. Third exercise, we have, of course, a burpee variation. So we're starting in the middle, jumping it to the side, landing in that squat, jumping back to the middle, hands down for that burpee. And then you're gonna jump it to the left, back to the middle, back down. So every time you're in the middle, you're in that burpee. And then when you're to the side, you're jumping to that jump squat. But we're gonna get started with our broad jump, jump it forward, land it in the squat, and then high knee it back. So everyone go ahead, stand on up, bring it to the edge. We are getting started in 3, 2, 1. Jump it forward, land in that squat, high knee it back. However many high knees it takes for you to get back to your starting position. 15 more seconds. Make sure you're landing with those feet flat. If you're landing on your toes, you're jumping too far. 3 more seconds. Go ahead and rest. Bring it to the floor. We have lateral shoot throughs in that bear position, hands and knees. Knees up, in, 3, 2, 1. Knees are up. You're gonna pick that right hand up, left foot shoots through, and then you just switch sides. Make sure whichever leg you're standing on stays bent. Do not let it extend. A little over 10 seconds. Keep it up. 5 more, and then we get into our burpees. 2, 1. Let's rest. Then let's bring it standing. We're gonna jump it. Land in that squat to the side. Bring it back middle, down into that burpee. In 3, 2, 1. Jump it to the right, land in that squat. Jump it back, hands down, chest to the floor, and then you jump it left. Making sure you land in that squat position. If you need to, low impact, you will just step out those squats, come down, step it back to the middle, and then step out that burpee. 3 seconds. Go ahead and rest. Grab a quick sip if you need it, but we have 10 seconds till we come back to those broad jumps. Edge of your workspace in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Jump it forward, landing in that squat, high knee, back. Again, low impact version. You're just gonna come down into that squat, stay in that squat, and duck walk it forward, then quickly march it back. We have 15 seconds remaining. In this second round, we've only added 5 seconds. So 1 more rep, you can get in. Let's rest, and let's bring it to the floor. Bear position, hands and knees. Whew. Knees coming off the ground. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees are up. Keep that supporting leg bent, and then that other leg extends out. Raise that arm up, help you balance out. You got this. We're already more than halfway through this set. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Let's stand it on up. Side to side, jump squat, and then into that burpee. 7 seconds. We're in the middle of our space. We're gonna jump it to the right in 3, 2, 1. To the right in that squat. Back middle, hands down, chest to the floor, back up, and then to the left this time. Trying to land in that squat position. So legs bent, butt back. 10 more seconds. You can do it. Give me that last rep, and let's rest. Whew. Stand it on up, edge of our space, broad jump in 7 seconds. Whew. In 3, 2, 1. Jump it forward. Our last set, 45 seconds of work, only 5 seconds longer than round 2. Guys, you're doing awesome. More than halfway through the set. Our final set of these. 10 more seconds. Give me at least 2 more jumps. 2 more. Last one. Last one. Bringing it back. And let's rest. Whew. Bear position. Hands and knees. Drop it down. Lateral shoot throughs in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees up. Kick it through. Go as slow as you need to make sure you have that balance. And then once you feel comfortable in it, you can pick up the pace. Halfway, keep moving. We only have 1 more set after this. And then we get our break. Three more seconds. 2, 1. Go ahead and rest it. Whew. Stand it up. We are in the middle of our workspace. Jumping it to the right, landing in a squat. In 3, 2, 1. To the right, land in that squat. Bring it back to the middle. Hands down, chest to the floor. Press it up. Jump to the left. Again, you always have that low impact version where you can just step it out, squat it, step it back, step out the burpee, drop it down. Less than 10 seconds. Give me 1 more rep. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and rest. 60 seconds. Grab some water. Towel off. Whew. We're going to get into some core work now. 3 exercises starting on our back. Whew. We have a reverse crunch to a leg extension. So laying on our back with our legs bent. Bring those knees in, hips come just gently off the floor, and then extend those legs out, and then bring it back in. Nice little motion. Second exercise, we're going to turn it over. We have a mountain climber pause, hip dip. So we're going to do 3 mountain climbers. 1, 2, 3. Whichever leg you're standing on, you're going to dip it down, and then do 3 more. Dip it to that other side. Then our last exercise, we have a knee touch to a crunch. Legs are bent, hands are by your head. You're bringing in elbow to opposite knee, laying back down, bringing in both knees and both elbows back down, and then opposite knee and elbow, then from what you started, back to that crunch, then back to that knee to elbow. So 3, as if you're going in a line, and then you're going back. So we're going to get started with reverse crunch to that leg extension. So go ahead, lay on your back, legs are bent. You're just going to tuck those knees in so that your hips come off the ground just a little bit. Bring it back down, and then extend those legs straight out. We are starting in 3, 2, 1. Bring the knees in, extend the legs out, making sure that lower back stays nice and flat the entire way of that leg extension. "15 seconds to go, more than halfway there. We're gonna turn it over in 7 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Turn it over. High plank position, hands and toes. 3 mountain climbers, whatever leg you stop on, that's the side you're dipping down to. In 4, 3, 2, 1. 3 mountain climbers. 1, 2, 3. Dip the hip down on whatever that straight leg is. You don't have to raise your hand up, Mike. You can keep both on the ground. Just working those obliques in that hip dip. Try and keep the butt down as you do those mountain climbers. 3 more seconds. Go ahead and rest. Turn it back over. Legs are bent. Hands are by your head. Knee to elbow. Both knees, both elbow, and other knee to elbow. In 3, 2, 1. Knee to elbow. Both, other knee to elbow. Make sure those shoulder blades are coming off the ground. That's what's really going to engage your upper core muscles. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and rest. Stay on your back, legs bent. We have our reverse crunch to leg extension in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the knees into chest, lift the hips up, then extend those legs back out once your hips drop to the floor. Maintain that pelvic tilt, lower back staying completely flat. Halfway, remember we've added just 5 seconds, that's it, to this round, so 40 seconds of work. We only have 10 seconds left. We're gonna turn it over after this set is done. 2, 1, turn it over. We're coming into that high plank position. 3 mountain climbers, and then you're dipping the hip on whatever leg is straight. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Our knees are up. 1, 2, 3. Dip it down to that straight leg. 2, 3. Down to that other side. Keep the hips down. Guys are looking awesome. Try to keep hands over those shoulders, hips down, back nice and straight. Five more seconds. Let's rest, and let's turn it over. Legs bent, hands by your head, knee to elbow, then both knees and elbows, and then opposite knee and elbow. 2, 1, bring it in, and then both, and then the other side. Shoulder blades always coming off the ground. We only have 1 more round after this set. And then, of course, our Thanksgiving plank. Five seconds. 2, 1. Go ahead and rest. Stay on your backs unless you're grabbing some quick water, because we have our last set of these reverse lunge or crunches to the leg extension. In 3, 2, 1. Bring the knees in. Extend the legs out. Last set, an additional 5 seconds. So now we have 45-second sets. You guys are doing awesome. We're already more than halfway through final set of these crunches. Five seconds. 2, 1, turn it over. And we are coming into our mountain climbers. 3 mountain climbers in 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, dip it down. 1, 2, 3, dip it down. Shoulders over those hands, back nice and straight, hips down. You guys got this. We only have 2.5 minutes left in this entire workout. 10 seconds. Go ahead and rest. And we're going to turn it back over onto our backs. Legs are bent, hands by our head, knee touch to crunch in 3, 2, 1. Knee to elbow, back down, then both, and then other knee to elbow. Our last 45-second set. And then we have our plank after this, showing thanks with our planks this month, 60 seconds this week. So we're going to turn it over in 20 seconds. Five seconds to go. Turn it on over. We're coming into our elbow plank. Last 60 seconds, I promise. This is it. Elbows under those shoulders, knees up in 4, 3, 2, 1. We're holding that plank. I don't want to see any butts in the air, any backs caving. Shoulders should be over those elbows. Holding strong. Just this last minute. You can do it. Stay nice and strong. Everyone's core is looking good. Breathing through. Halfway, 30 more seconds. Keep it up. Just breathe through it. We're almost there. Ten seconds, single digits. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and drop out of that plank. Grab some water, towel off. Whew. Then we will get into a nice little cool down. We will go ahead and start on our backs once you guys have grabbed some water. Legs bent, and just hug your knees into your chest. We're going to stretch out our lower back. Feel free to rock left to right if that feels good on your back. Otherwise, you can just hold both knees to your chest. And then we're going to extend that right arm out to our side. Place our left hand on the outside of that right knee and allow those knees to drop down to the left while you look over your right shoulder. As always, focusing on your breathing, in through the nose, out through the mouth. We're gonna go ahead, pick those knees up, left arms out to the side now, right hand outside of left knee, drop it down to the right side of your body, and look over your left shoulder. Three, two, one. Bring it back up. Place both feet on the ground, and we're coming into a piriformis. Right leg is crossing our left, and we're picking that left leg up off the ground, pulling it as close to you as you need to feel that stretch through your right piriformis. Three, two, one. Drop that left leg down, uncross, and bring the left over the right. And now that right leg is in your hands. Again, pulling it towards you till you feel that stretch. Should be nice and light, no pain. Three, two, one. Drop both feet down. And now we're going to bring the bottom of our feet together, knees open into this butterfly. Pick the feet up, hold them in your hands, and then you can either use those elbows to push those knees out, or you can just pull the feet towards your groin till you feel that stretch. Three, two, one. Go ahead, release it back to the floor, and we're going to go ahead and sit on up. We're going to turn it over into quadruped, hands and knees. We're going to step that right foot forward into that hip flexor, just like we did in our warm-up. Lean it forward, sink into those hips, and then go ahead, push the hips back, extend that right leg, lift the toes off the ground, into a hamstring stretch. You can keep the fingers on the ground to balance you out. Push it back forward, step that right foot back, and then bring that left foot forward, back into that hip flexor. Go ahead, push the hips back, toe raised, leg extended, fold it forward. Three, two, one. Bring the hips back, step that left foot back, raise it up into a downward dog, and just pedal out your feet, stretching out your calves. Maybe hold them both down, whatever feels comfortable and right for you. And then we're going to go ahead, walk our hands back to our feet, and then slowly raise up vertebrae by vertebrae until you are looking up. And that is all I have for class today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. As